Hello everyone, welcome to this week's video from the Purple Penny. My name's Mark and today my wife Kathryn is joining us. Hello Kathryn. This is the last video that we'll be doing in 2024. We are closed from this Saturday afternoon, so we won't be coming in next week to do a video. And we are rounding off the videos this year with our usual question and answer session. I guess it's always worth talking about who the Purple Penny is. We're a coin and banknote dealer. We're owned by us. Kathryn and I are the owners. We have one employee and some other people that come in and help us out from time to time. We buy and sell coins and banknotes over the counter here in the shop and sell them through our website, thepurplepenny.com. We're also authorised distributors for the Royal Australian Mint, who are the producers of Australia's circulating currency and release collector coins once or twice a month as well.
And the official coin supplier to the Tooth Fairy.
They are the official coin supplier to the Tooth Fairy as well. Only Australian Tooth Fairies though, not international Tooth Fairies. No releases this month, but there will be releases, are we allowed to say?
No, 20th.
20th. When's the 20th?
Not yet.
Stay tuned for the 20th and maybe there'll be some announcements then about what's coming out. We'll just jump into the news. So we are closed from 1 PM this Saturday, which is the 21st. So we'll be closed from 1 PM on the 21st and reopening on January the 2nd, which is the first trading day of the new year. That's the usual time that we're closed. Our website will be accepting orders during that time. We will not be mailing out at our usual frequency, so I just hope everyone is okay with that if you're placing an order and it doesn't cause any inconvenience. If you're looking for 2x2s or album pages and stuff like that and you're here in Adelaide, this is the week to come in and grab them so that you can work on your collection while you're recovering from your Christmas lunch, I guess. Just say a few hellos here before we continue. Hello Sam, Patrick, Paul, Greg, Wendy, Charles, Gwen, John, and another Greg. Oh no, it's the same Greg twice. Some interesting stuff in the news this week. Firstly was in the Swiss Alps, where global warming is causing many of the glaciers up there to retract, and it's causing all sorts of things to fall out of the bottom of the glaciers, which I think is really interesting. Two things of interest this week. One is that there have been a number of Roman coin finds around key high mountain passes up in the Swiss Alps, and it's believed that the Romans, when they were making their way across the Swiss Alps, would actually make sacrifices and give offerings to their gods before they went through the mountain pass, trying to butter up their deities to get them through the mountain passes alive, which is quite fascinating. And the other is one of these frozen prehistoric people that's been found in a mountain pass. They found a body of a man who was aged about my age and probably about my build as well, but covered in furs and carrying a whole buttload of equipment, including valuable copper axes and a bow and cooking pots and things like that. And he'd had a fight with someone at a high mountain pass and got shot in the shoulder with an arrow and passed away. But they've managed to figure out, what his last meal was, what physical condition he was in, what ailments he had, and it's quite amazing that something like that can just fall out the bottom of a glacier in Switzerland. Another find in Egypt this time is in Alexandria, to the west of Alexandria. They're excavating a Ptolemaic temple. Ptolemy was a Greek pharaoh, and his dynasty was called the Ptolemaic dynasty, and probably the most famous person that you would know from the Ptolemaic dynasty is Cleopatra. And they've dug up a number of things in this temple in the last month, including what they believe is a portrait of Cleopatra, and then a whole bunch of coins bearing her face. Now Cleopatra was probably Greek, and she's best known for being the sometime girlfriend of Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. And after Julius Caesar's death, she took up with Mark Antony, and he had a rebellion against the Republic of Rome, and unfortunately he lost a battle against who ended up being Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. Unfortunately, he took his own life, as did Cleopatra, just a year later. I would love to own a coin with the portrait of Cleopatra on it. I think this is what makes coin collecting amazing, is that you can hold something in your hand with the portrait of someone who was as famous as Cleopatra. And an interesting fact, which I always find amazing, is that here in 2024 we're actually closer in terms of numbers of years to Cleopatra than Cleopatra was to the building of the pyramids, which shows you how old the Kingdom of Egypt actually is. Some interesting English coins sold this week, which give an interesting insight into what goes on in times of war. During the English Civil War, which was in the 1640s, the city of Newark was besieged several times. The city of Newark was held by the Royalist forces, so they were under King Charles. And of course they were being besieged by the parliamentary forces who wanted to get rid of the king. In the end they did manage to get rid of him, they chopped his head off. But while the city was under siege for the third time, the Royalist forces really didn't give two hoots about the general population, and there was a huge outbreak of plague, and many people starved to death, but you had to keep paying the soldiers. So what the Royalist forces did was confiscate silver plates from the wealthy people inside the city, cut them into triangles, and they struck coins out of them. So these are called siege coins, and they are that unusual diamond shape that you can see there. 3 of those sold just recently in the UK for about $20,000 on a $13,000 estimate. Now I have seen a couple of these at coin shows here in Australia, but they are exceptionally scarce and interesting historical items. Another coin that sold this week was in the USA. You probably don't know this, but they did actually make 20-cent pieces in the USA for a little while, just for a couple of years, and it was knocked on the head fairly quickly by Congress in 1877. But in 1876 they made about 10,000 20-cent pieces in the Carson City Mint. Carson City, I think, is in Texas. I'm not sure about that. They made 10,000 coins. They were never actually released into circulation, and when the denomination was abolished by the Congress in America, they melted down those 10,000 coins, but in the time period between the coins being made and the coins being melted down, 20 of them were, I guess, snuck out of the mint or taken as souvenirs by staff or something like that, and it's believed that there's only 20 of those coins still in existence. They're all in mint state, and this one here sold at Heritage just last month, and it's believed to be probably the best one in existence. There were 118 bids, and it sold for just over $1 million Australian, about $680,000 American, so quite a remarkable result, and just 20 of those coins in existence. What we might do is we might just skip over that one and we'll jump straight to this one. Thanks to Eric at Drake Sterling Numismatics for posting this up on his Facebook page yesterday. He's got a handful of really desirable pre-decimal coins becoming available next year, and one of them is this 1922-21 overdate threepence. 21-22 overdate threepence is probably the scarcest silver coin in the Australian pre-decimal series, and it's the result of mint workers trying to modify a 1921 threepence die to reuse it for 1922, and they did a fairly shoddy job of it. You can see there in the picture that the numeral 1 is quite clear under the numeral 2. They believe less than 1,000 of these made, and usually they are completely clapped out. They're usually very good at best, and they're often bent. Here in the shop we've seen, I think, one. I believe we've seen one in 5.5 years, so they are exceptionally scarce. In comparison, we've had 3 1930 pennies come in the shop in the last 5 years. So this one in AU58, it is the equal highest graded by PCGS. I believe it's one of 4. Now, I don't know what Eric is going to ask for this coin, but I imagine it's a lot. If you are in the market for an absolute premium 19, 22, 21 over-date threepence, then reach out to Eric and I'm sure he would be happy to talk to you. Now, today, because it's the last video of the month, usually we have a question and answer session, but before we do that, we'll just say a few thanks to some people. Kathryn, did you want to?
Yeah, we've had a few visits the last couple of weeks, just last visits of the year from our regulars and our favourite customers and our special friends, and some have brought us gifts. We love gifts, Christmas gifts. Thank you to the two Harrys, Mark and Dennis, for your kind words and your gift, and Ashley and Tracy, thank you as well. You all know who you are, you're very special to us. You know, we enjoy coming into work every day to see you guys. Andrew Kairos as well popped in the other day, brought us a lovely present. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you to those people and everyone else who's been in the last couple of weeks with a gift. Apologies if we've forgotten you.
I'll just say one other thing. I spoke at length with Tracy at the Coin Expo here a month or two ago, and I still haven't got that email yet, Tracy, so if you're out there, you'll be watching this a bit later probably. Don't forget to send me that email, I'm waiting for it.
No pressure, no pressure. We'll do the easy questions first. Someone asked how much coin capsules cost in here. Now we stock lighthouse capsules. Mm-hmm. The more common size ones, 50-cent pieces, dollar coins, things like that, we sell them for $11 for a box of 10. The $2 capsules, which is a newish product from Lighthouse, they're cheaper, they're $6 for a box of 10. The sizes that we have less demand for, such as silver 1 ounce sizes, sovereigns, can't think of half sovereigns, things that we get asked for much less frequently, we sell them individually for $1.50 each. Canadian maples, yeah. So just the odd sizes where someone just wants one or two, we sell those for $1.50 each.
And those are the premium capsules with the nice smooth edge. There's a cheaper option which has the ridge on the edge. Any of those products I can order in for anyone who wants specific sizes, specific quantities. That's all something that I can just order in very easily. I do an order once a week, once a fortnight perhaps, certainly at least twice a month. I can have those here very quickly for anyone who wants them.
Thank you. Someone asked about silver pre-decimal coins. If they're low grade and they're not key dates, are they basically worth melt? Now, if you're not familiar with what melt means, it just means what the value of the coin is in silver, because of course Australian coins had silver in them from 1910 through to pre-decimal coins, 1910 through to 1964. The answer to that is mostly yes. We sort out a lot of silver every month, and most of it just goes into our kilo bags, and we sell that for a premium. I think it's about melt plus 20% or something. We also have sorted boxes of pre-decimal coins, and they sell for melt plus a premium as well. The only exception to that is if they are in better condition, and that means, you know, basically King George V coins, if they're in better condition. Some George VI coins, but QE2 silver coins, you know, to be honest, even a lot of the uncirculated threepences and sixpences are really only worth the silver value because they are so incredibly common. The kilo bags are available on our website most of the time, and if you're here in Adelaide and you are looking for specific dates, you can just come in here and Kathryn or I or Jared will fix you up with those dates that you're looking for.
Bring your list in. We always have people coming in with their lists.
Yeah, you have to bring a list. There's no point coming in without a list, because there's a lot of different dates. Now, we had another question just talking about the number of new releases that are coming out from the Royal Australian Mint, the Canadian Mint, the Perth Mint, Australia Post, and the number of new collectors that is bringing into the market. Are we seeing any sort of cross-pollination from those types of collectors into people that are collecting perhaps pre-decimal coins or banknotes or ancient coins or things like that? Now, our hope is that everyone collects coins forever, and if you are going to collect coins forever, then your tastes will change. Well, certainly my tastes are not the same as what they were 5 years ago, and that was different to what it was 5 years before that. And I think, Kathryn, you'd probably agree with that with your collecting. So from our point of view, if you're collecting coins, whatever it is, whether it be new stuff or ancients, then we're happy with that, because it gives you the opportunity to learn and branch out into other things. But of course, if you decide to just keep collecting post office releases forever, then more power to you. There is nothing wrong with that at all. So I guess that's we're sort of beating around the bush there. We're not sure if we're seeing people moving into different areas of collecting from new releases. We're just happy to see people collecting because we want this hobby to be around forever, and we're not going to do that if new people don't enter it. Any comments on that?
Certainly once you get the bulk of your collection complete, you might be looking for an alternate pathway for something else. Some of our customers who collect particular countries, and they complete those countries as best they can. They might go, okay, what country will I start collecting next? Or which pathway will I veer towards this time? And that's what's happened in my collection, and that's when something is complete or pretty complete, or something's just, you've got those last couple of things to get, and they're very hard and they don't come around very often. You still like to keep yourself busy and learning, so choose something else that interests you.
Another question we had from sorry, I've just forgotten your name, who asked this question. Who asked about the Bluey 10 coins. It was a 10 coin set. Patrick, thanks Patrick. The Bluey 10 coin set with the tube and the folder. I believe Patrick had some sealed tubes and folders to go with them, and he was just asking about whether he should keep them sealed or open them up, and the values of the folders with the coloured coin in them. Now, I did do a bit of eBay research here. An open tube without a coloured coin, they seem to sell for between $50 and $75. A folder with a sealed tube, they had a pretty wide range of selling prices. They seem to sell between $80 and $150. And the open tube with the folder and the coloured coin, they are selling for between $175 and $225. The question that Patrick had was, should he keep them sealed or should he open them? And I'll tell you what I tell everyone. I think you should keep them sealed. I think that they are collectible sealed, but my other half here, she has a very different opinion on sealed tubes, because she opens them as soon as she sees them, because she likes the idea of being able to find the coloured coins in them.
Oh, I just can never guarantee if people ask me, has this tube been opened? It's just got sticky tape on it. That's how it came from Australia Post. I'm not going to put any credit to that sticky tape. As far as I'm concerned, they're all open.
Fair enough. Hello Jason. Hi Bevan. Thanks for joining in, mate. Hello Ted. Hello Aaron. Antonius. Hello. How are you? John says, how much larger is your store range of world coins opposed to your shop online? We wouldn't have more than 5% of our available coins up on our website, because there aren't enough hours in the week to get everything up on our website. Mostly the albums here in the shop, though, are full of lower value things. The higher value coins we tend to put to one side, and they go into the ever lengthening queue of things that are waiting to go up on our website.
I chuckle because you just created a bigger album.
Yes, that's correct.
Because there was too many.
Yeah, there was too many, that's right. Hello Paul and hello Daryl. Right, now someone asked us a question about a 1923 halfpenny that came in last week. I posted it up on our Facebook page, and someone asked me to cover off why it was an important coin and what had happened to it. And the 1923 halfpenny is the key date of the halfpenny series. It's probably the second best known coin after the 1930 penny in the pre-decimal series. They think they made about 15,000 of them. How hard are they to find? Well, they're not as hard as what you'd think. We probably handle between sort of 5 and 15 a year. They do come in, and they're usually in well circulated condition. The one that you can see here is the one that we bought last week, and it has pitting all over it and has been harshly cleaned. It's got that sort of unusual bright orange colour that cleaned copper has when you put it in something acidic. Now, just from a technical point of view, all of the 1923 halfpennies were struck from two die pairs, the dies being the things that strike the coins, the pair being the heads die and the reverse die. So all of them were struck by two die pairs. And thanks to Peter Andrews of Independent Coin News, who had a great article in his last issue about this particular coin, we know that this coin is from die pair B2. Now, everyone thinks that a 1923 halfpenny has to have die cracks on it. Only about 3/4 of them do. Die cracks being the dies degrading over time and having cracks in them, and that shows it's up on the coin as a little raised line on the particular coin. Now, why did we put this one up? Well, because it's a key date coin and it has been harshly cleaned. It always is somewhat depressing to see a coin that has been harshly cleaned like this one. Before we compare it to a coin that's not cleaned, I thought we'd just have a look at a bit of a glossary or a bit of an idea of some terms that you need to know when you're evaluating these coins. When you're looking at 1923 halfpennies, people always talk about the pearls and the centre diamond. They are in the band of the King's Crown. So you can see on the image there, the pearls, there's 4 pairs of pearls, and when George V coin wears with this portrait, who is McKennell, I think. This is the McKennell portrait. The second pair of pearls there from the left, they're the ones that wear off first. And then the centre diamond, which you can see there indicated with the arrow, wears off next. And then as those things wear off, the coin goes down through the grades. This particular halfpenny is probably what's called good fine. So it's got some of the centre diamond present, and it's got 6 clear pearls on it. Now, I said that only about 3/4 of the 1923 halfpennies have die cracks on them. You can actually use those die cracks to determine what die pair it comes from, and again, thanks to Peter Andrews and Independent Coin News for this particular nugget of information. We know that that particular die crack makes this die pair B2. And we know that it's a real 1923 halfpenny by the alignment of the 3. And you can see there the red line that the halfpenny, the 3 of the date is just to the left of a ring bead, whereas if you try to alter a 1930s halfpenny, that alignment will be wrong. And just finishing off comparing this particular coin with another coin of the same grade. So there you can see our cleaned coin up the top there and a non-cleaned example down the bottom. They are almost exactly the same grade. What's the value difference? Probably the one at the bottom is worth 10 times the amount of the one at the top. So that is the difference that there is between a harshly clean coin like the one at the top versus a problem-free one at the bottom. Now, I will just say one thing. People say cleaning coins is bad, but in this particular case, because it's a metal detected coin, it's almost certainly a metal detected coin, and it had corrosion on it, and you can tell that from the pits all over it, that in this particular case, maybe cleaning it wasn't the worst idea. Do you agree with that? Yeah? Yeah. I mean, you know, whether it's a cleaned coin, a clean key date coin, or a key date coin with active green corrosion all over it, it's probably 6 of one or half dozen of the other with regards to value. Neither of them is going to hold a particularly high value, and some people would argue that cleaning the coin to this sort of condition to remove the active corrosion has actually made it better. Now, I'm on the fence one way or another about it. I guess if you know coins, and Kathryn and I perhaps know coins a bit better than most other people, you can probably make those decisions in an educated fashion. But if you don't know coins, then the best approach with corroded coins and dirty coins is to just do nothing. Because the two reasons: one is that you may clean a coin incredibly inappropriately and remove significant amount of value from it, and the other thing that you could do is just waste your time by cleaning coins that you just don't need to clean. So if you don't know coins, we always advise you to just leave coins alone and don't clean them, and just leave it to people who know what they're doing. If this coin came into this shop corroded in its original state, Kathryn and I wouldn't clean it. We would leave it the way it was. We don't fiddle with coins in here. We would just leave it the way it is. But perhaps in this case, cleaning it wasn't the worst thing that the person could have done. You got anything to add to that, Kath?
No.
No.
I'm thinking about the ironed banknote.
Yeah, we did have a person who had lovingly polished every 1 and 2 cent piece that she had, and was advised that that was probably not the best thing to do. So when she was offered a polymer 1988 banknote, she wasn't super excited about paying $35 for an uncirculated one, so she paid $13 for a circulated one, thinking that she would go home and iron it, which she promptly did. And of course you can't iron plastic banknotes because they melt. So we just advise people, if you don't know what you're doing, and you're open to the idea that you don't know what you're doing, then just do nothing with coins and notes if you're trying to improve them, because you generally only make it worse. Now, that's it for the questions today. We'll just finish up with some comments here before we move on. Hi Graham, Antonius, what do you think of the new silver sovereign? Is it good for investment? I don't know what that coin is, but I'll tell you the same thing that I tell everyone about investing in coins, is that we're a hobby shop, and if you like a coin you should buy it. If you want to make money out of it, then you should go and talk to a financial advisor, and they'll probably give you better advice than what I can. Hello pal, how are you? Hello John, no worries. Hello Detlef, hello Chris, hello Daryl, and no worries Ray and Ted. Right, I think that's it. Hello Jason, sorry there's a bunch of people here that have come in late. Hi Gwen. Right, that's it I think for this year. It's it for 2024. Have you got anything to add, Kath?
It is. No, good luck with the stamps, Daryl.
Yeah, no worries Daryl, good luck with the stamps. Kathryn and I would like to say thank you to everyone who watches these videos, whether it be here on Facebook or on YouTube afterwards. We'd like to thank everyone who makes doing these videos interesting during the year. Peter Andrews for all of his help with the videos during the year, with supplying me with data and pictures and suggestions and things like that. It couldn't be as much fun without you helping me along the way, Peter. And everyone out there who just watches and doesn't say anything, we're glad that you watch. Maybe next year you can say something. I know there's plenty of people that watch and don't comment because they come into the shop and tell us.
And you can't hide now.
No.
Everyone knows your
That's right. That's
your
right.
noggin.
So thank you everyone, and thank you everyone who helps support this business and makes it fun. I said something last week which Kathryn reminded me of, which was that things have slowed down in the shop, but what's good about that is the fact that we get to spend time talking to people in the shop again, which for a year or two we didn't have the time for it, and it really, a lot of the days it sucked the joy out of it, being so busy. And it has been good that it's slowed down, and we have got to have a chat with Daryl about his mum's stamps, and talking to Damien about his books that he's writing, and talking to Al about his wife and what he's collecting for his grandkids, and all those stories that make coin collecting the wonderful hobby that it is. Sometimes just taking the money does suck the life out of it, and it's good to know the stories behind things. So whoever's up there slowed things down so that we've got more time to talk to people, well, thank you for that, is all I can say. All right.
Yeah.
No worries. Happy New Year, happy festive season, and we'll be back in the second week of January. Bye for now, everyone.